Right, good evening once again. We are into lesson 6, and this lesson is called Moving to a Beat, which means we're going to be moving a little bit. I'm going to have you up and moving a little bit, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But let's get started with our lesson here. So we are in lesson 6. It is called Moving to a Beat, and here we go. So we're going to have about 10 minutes. We're going to talk and discuss some things about our bodies. And then we're going to have a little game where you're going to get to move around a little bit, and then we'll review something. And when we talk about a drum, I'm going to be playing a little drum later on during our game. And when I play the drum, it's going to make you do something that I kind of associate the drum with. And we'll get to that in our 5th or 6th slide in our presentation tonight. So your outcomes and your learning objectives for today, okay? So you as a student, you will be able to identify the role of the lungs and the heart in your body being physically active, okay? So your lungs, which you have 2 of them, and your heart, okay, which is located relatively in the center of your chest, identify what their job is in being physically active. And you're going to associate 2 body cues, like a faster heartbeat and faster breathing, with go activities. And go activities meaning healthy activities. All right, so let's get going. Let's get started. Okay, so in the importance in our discussion, we're going to talk about the importance of being physically active. And when we are being physically active, okay, it is essential for us as children and adults to stay fit and healthy, to feel great. Many adults and children don't get the exercise they need to. And today in America, we have a lot of people who are living more sedentary lifestyles, which means they're watching more TV, playing video games on the computer, the internet. And it's estimated that children watch 5,000 hours of TV before entering 1st grade. Can you believe that? That's a serious problem of being inactive and not out and moving. And it's a major predictor or a potential predictor of getting a disease or heart disease or other heart and body and health issues when we get older. Okay, so physical activity does a lot of things. It helps us to burn calories, relieve stress, help increase our lean body mass, so our muscle mass, and decrease fat in our body. It helps build strong bones, strengthen the heart. It speeds up the metabolism, which means that the more calories that we burn, even while we will burn more while we're at rest. So while we're sitting here, even on the computer now, watching this video, if you have a strong and fast metabolism, it's going to burn more calories even when you're not doing anything. Okay, and physical activity is going to help us prevent, okay, obesity, which is being overweight, heart disease, and diabetes. Okay, making people feel better, okay, and look better. It helps you as children coordinate your thoughts, your bodies, and creates an increase in your stamina, which means the ability to kind of do things for a longer period of time. It also is going to help you focus and pay attention better in school. And science is showing that it's also helping to get higher academic test scores while you're in school. So the more you're active, the more your brain is actually doing better for you, and you're learning better, and you're retaining and hearing information. You're actually keeping that knowledge, and you're getting better test scores when you do your stuff in school with your classroom teachers. Okay, so doing a variety of exercise is important. Okay, we'll talk about aerobic activities such as running, swimming, skating, kickboxing, biking, jump roping, and dancing. Those things should be combined with things like weight training, where we're lifting weights and stuff like that. Okay, everyday activities that you could get exercise: sweeping the house, vacuuming, gardening in the back, walking up and down the stairs. Okay, those also count as exercise. Okay, physical activity and exercise, it engages our mind and it increases our problem solving skills, our negotiations, our thinking and imagination, and our flexibility. Okay, we should be given this time, and you should be given this time to be able to develop your fine motor skills. So things where you're touching and holding a pencil and writing, things that do some small things in your life. And then gross motor skills like throwing, like kicking, like catching, things like that. Okay, some skill related motor skills, walking, skipping, hopping, stuff like that. And we're going to practice some of those here in a few minutes. So you as a child, you should be physically active for 60 minutes every day. So that could mean you go 20 minutes, 20 minutes, and 20 minutes, or you could go 60 minutes in one time, but you should be active for at least 60 minutes a day. Okay? Adults, okay, we need to be active for at least 30 minutes, but it needs to be a really more high intensity workout. At a minimum, a fast walking pace when we're walking through our day. Stretching muscles before and after exercise is going to also help to prevent injuries. And we've been talking about that on our live class sessions as we've been doing our workout videos. It's always important to do some stretching and getting those muscles loosened up and warmed up so that we can prevent injuries. Okay, so let's get back to our video. Oh, I'm sorry, where did it go? There we go. And just trying to go back to our lesson. There we go. Oops, wrong way. Okay, so which kind of foods can help your body stay the healthiest? Okay, and those are go foods. Remember, we talked about go foods for the last couple of weeks. Okay, and if you've been eating more go foods, I want you to raise your hand. So like vegetables, plain low-fat milk and yogurt, whole wheat bread. If you've been eating some of those go foods, raise your hand. And I'm really proud of those of you who are doing that, because it's going to help you as you get older and get into first grade and second grade, and then as you become adults. Now, I want you to, when I bring up, oops, I'm sorry. That foods that give your body energy, okay? Your body needs to be able to move, and the foods that we are talking about, like go foods, those ones give you that energy that your body needs, okay? So when your body moves, like doing things like playing tag or playing kickball or doing other physical activities, okay, those things are giving you energy, and or helping, the foods are helping you to give you that energy so you can play those games. So name a few other physical activities that you can think of other than like tag and kickball that I mentioned. Can you think of a few? Running, skipping, jumping, football, basketball, gymnastics, dance, all good answers. And there could be a lot more. All right, so into our major discussion for today. Okay, let's name the parts of the body that you use when you do physical activities. Okay, and here are the parts of our bodies that we use. We use our arms, we use our legs, our hands, our feet, our muscles, our eyes, and our ears. Okay, now we're going to talk about two other parts of your body that are going to help you during physical activities. One of these is your lungs, okay? Your lungs. I want you to put your hands over your rib cage. So you should feel bones inside your chest, okay? They disappear when you get down to your stomach because they don't go that far. They're up here in the upper part of your body. So I want you to put your hands over top of your rib cage, okay? The rib cage is a bone or a bunch of bones that you can feel inside above your stomach here, okay? When you take a deep breath and hold it, do you feel your rib cage move out? The air that you just breathed in actually filled up your lungs and made them bigger and made them expand. Your lungs are inside of your body, inside your rib cage, and are protected by that. Your rib cage moved out because your lungs got bigger, because of the air that went into them. Okay? So the oxygen first goes into your lungs. So when you breathe it in, it goes into your lungs. And then it goes into your blood. Okay? And in a minute, we're going to talk about what part of the body that is that we use to transport our blood throughout our body. Another part of the body that helps us be physically active is our heart. And our heart is located right here on the bottom on the left, and our lungs are over here. Okay? So every time you breathe, you take oxygen from the air and it goes into your lungs and then it goes into your blood. Okay? Now let's see why. Hold up your right hand. Okay? Hold up your right hand. Put it on your chest, in the place where you feel your heart beating the strongest. So I'm going to find my heart right about here. Okay? Right about there. Every time your heart beats, it's pumping blood, and it's pumping that blood to the muscles around your body, in your head, your arms, your legs, all over the place. Okay? What did we say is in the air and that you take in every time you breathe? I'll give you a hint. It starts with the letter O. Oxygen, right. Okay, so we said that first the oxygen comes into our lungs, okay, when we breathe in. Then it goes into our blood. When your heart beats, it's pumping the blood to your muscles. The oxygen is in your blood and it's going to your muscles. And that oxygen is the energy that your muscles need to use, that your muscles need in order to move. And as we talked about Go Foods helping to provide our body with energy, oxygen is a very important piece to get to our muscles and all of our parts of our body so that our body has the energy to move. Okay, so now we're going to play a little bit of a game. Okay, so remember that the oxygen in our blood is the energy that our muscles need to move and do physical activities. We're about to do some of that energy. We're going to do some energy stuff right now, and we're going to play a game so that you can move around. Okay, so I want you to all stand up. Okay, I want you to stand up. Okay. Now, when we do this, because we might not have as much space inside the classroom or in the classroom or in your house, in your living room, I don't want you to go running through the house or running outside of the house. Just use the space right in between where you are, okay? So what we're gonna do, okay, is let's make believe that we are astronauts, kind of like Gus Goodfood and Jumpin' Jackie here. We're going to go on a space adventure with Gus Goodfood and Jumping Jackie, and our classroom is now going to be the universe. I'll be the head of our group of astronauts. I'll be the leader. And you follow me and do what I say and do. Okay? So here we go. The first part of our game, okay, and I'm going to move my screen down so you can see me a little bit. Okay? Whenever I beat the drum one time, and I'm going to use my stool as the drum, okay? One time, I want you to just walk around a little bit, walk around by your computer, walk into your space. Don't walk too far where you can't hear where the video is, but I want you to just walk a little bit, okay? Now, if you hear the drum beat 2 times, okay, you're going to skip. And remember to get those knees up high. Make sure you're swinging your opposite arm. And again, don't go skipping throughout the house where you can't see the video. Just skip a couple times right near your screen. If you have headphones on, please don't skip away from your screen because I don't want you to break them. So make sure that those are not going to be, that you don't break your headphones or any earpieces. If you have to take those out and unplug them so that you can hear the video, please do so. And then, if you hear the drum beat 3 times, you're gonna gallop. And remember, when we gallop, we keep one foot out in front of the other. Again, don't go flying around the house and stuff, just in a little space, okay? We good on that? All right, here we go. And I am gonna bring up our game here. Okay. And you're going to be able to follow along as we go, because I'm going to give you the opportunity to read as we go. And you can obviously see how many drum beats we're going to have, but when I give you the drum beat, that's what I want you to do. And remember, one drum beat is walking, one drum beat, or two drum beats is skipping, and 3 is galloping. I'm actually going to move this over, back over to my screen here. That way that you all can see the screen that you need to see. There we go. Okay, so that you can remember. All right, here we go. It's a space adventure. All right, here we go. First, let's start walking around the universe. You should be walking. Skipping. Gus Goodfood wants to skip over to the moon. Did you know there were big holes called craters on the moon? Let's skip around the moon and see the moon's craters. Jumpin' Jackie says that we should walk to the planet Jupiter and get into its orbit for a while. Oh, 3 beats. That means we're going to gallop. We're going to gallop to escape out of Jupiter's orbit. Gallop fast, but not too fast. Don't run into anything. Don't break anything in the house. Okay? Jumping. Jackie thinks the Milky Way is interesting because it's made up of billions of stars. Let's walk over to the Milky Way. Let's gallop again along the Milky Way for a while. Gus Goodfood says that we should skip all the way to the planet Saturn. He wants us to use the gigantic ring around Saturn. Let's skip along to Saturn's ring. We're getting close to the sun. Let's gallop away before we melt. Uh-oh, there's a meteor shower. Let's gallop to get past it. Jumpin' Jackie thinks it's time for us to go home to our planet Earth. Let's skip back to Earth. So you guys did a really, really good job. Now, as a cool down, you can walk in place for a minute if you really got your heart beating a little bit. And I know we went through it a little quicker than we probably would have if we were in person in our classroom, but that's okay. Okay, so just remember that you can do this on your own. You could have somebody use their own object at home, and you could say, all right, every time you want me to walk, hit the drum once. If you want me to skip, 2. Okay, if you want me to gallop, 2, 3. Okay, so let's try that at home. If you want to get somebody involved, have your family do it with you, and then you could have them do it, where you do the drumming when you go 1, walking, and have them walk around the house a little bit, and then go, and then have them skip a little bit, and then have them gallop a little bit. Okay, so go activities, okay, are things that we just did: walking, skipping, galloping. And there's a lot more of them as well. Think about what it feels like to tiptoe slowly around a room when you tiptoe. Now think about what it feels like to run as fast as you can outside. When you do both of these things, you're still moving your body. Which one do you think your heartbeat is going to be faster though, and make you breathe faster? When you tiptoe or when you run fast around outside? The running is going to do it. Okay, your heartbeat is going to go faster. You're going to breathe faster as well. When you do a physical activity that makes these things happen, that physical activity is called a go activity. So any go activities are good for making your heart, okay, your lungs, and all of your muscles work better and stronger. So anytime you do an activity that gets your heart beating faster and your lungs breathing in and breathing out, that's a go activity. It's a good activity. Okay, when your heart and your lungs and your muscles are stronger, you can run faster, you can learn better, and you can play longer. Okay, so remember that oxygen is that energy that our muscles need to move. Okay, when our heart and our lungs, okay, when they are working the best, our body's going to work out the best. Okay, point out that a good point to make here is that your muscles were using oxygen when you were walking around, when you skipped, when you galloped, okay, during our space adventure a couple of minutes ago. Now, name 2 parts of your body that will help oxygen get to the muscles when they move. And you should already know, because you can see, and I've already talked about it a lot of times, your lungs and your heart, okay? Do you think you should do activities that make your heart and lungs work better? The answer is yes, because remember, those are called go activities. And the last question, okay, which kind of activities help your heart and your lungs work better? Okay, those are the go activities: the walking, the running, the skipping, the jumping, the football, the track and field, gymnastics, all of those things that get our heart pumping faster and our lungs working faster. Those are go activities. Okay, so think about 2 changes in your body when we went on our space adventure. Okay, think about 2 things that happened in our bodies that was different than when we started. Yes, you remember, your heart started to beat faster, and you were breathing faster and possibly deeper, where you were really trying to get that air in there and get that oxygen in there. You will feel these changes when you do go activities. And even though you might not feel them right away, you might feel them later on. It might take you longer, because remember, we talk about our bodies are all different, and we all learn differently, and everybody's bodies are going to adjust to different exercises and environments that we are in. Okay, so raise your hand if you think you're going to start doing a lot more go activities. And I'm really glad that those of you who are raising your hand are doing that, because it's going to help you stay healthy and happy as you get older. You're going to have the energy to do what you want to do. Okay? Now, before we leave, I want you just to yell out one go activity that you're going to try to do. Just go ahead and yell it out. I know that we can't all hear you right now, but just yell it out. Ooh, I think I heard somebody say swimming, biking, walking the dog, running. I like that one. Playing tag, flag football, touch football, I heard. Gymnastics, awesome. These are all great answers. Okay, and there's a lot more answers that could be good answers. Okay, so we have reached the end of our lesson. I'm so glad you tuned in. We will see you next time in our next lesson. Stay safe, stay healthy, have a great night.